go. Need to talk to Pharaoh. Guard. There we go.
You look like you've been in the wilds. You see my wagon out there?
I found you good.
You've saved my hide. I can't thank you enough. But I hope you'll take this.
She rubs her hands together. I'll take my reward
Here, as promised.
Or
Thanks again. With a little luck, I'll trade these blizzards in for a sea breeze soon enough.
That's done.
Right here.
David.
I'm going.
Oh.
Rub it in, why don't you?
Sure.
Let's talk to you.
Back to warm your hands, eh? What can I do for you?
Do you know a man named Harmke?
The woodcutter? Sure do. Head west from the village, then go north. If you see the frozen stream, you've gone too far. Usually works a stand of trees out in the russet wood, though he steps out from time to time.
Well, what are we waiting for?
Don't worry, we're not looking to murder him or anything.
He winks at you. Read it so. You see a room, dark and damp, a cellar. It looks like part of the inn rather than an old fortress. Through Helverich's eyes, you admires row of gleaming bottles recently dusted and polished. As you step back from the shelves, you look on with satisfaction at a pressure plate concealed in the stone floor.
You all right? I won't serve you if you're already drunk, you know.
Farewell. I got away. Oh. Save it. I don't want to do the pressure plate though.
Oh, and if I find something good, you can have half.
Yeah, we already knew that though.
Oh, and if I find something good, you can have half.
Oh yeah. Read his soul. For a moment, your senses are overwhelmed. There are fumbling hands at your belt and your own low laughter in your ears. Your shoulder is jammed up against the cabinet and it rattles every time Brentwood leans down and kiss you. Brentwood. There's a sedate pleasure in the memory, but nothing in it has much to do with the battery. Leave. Who is you? Interesting. David. With the whiff of salt and brine in your nostrils before the room has even faded. The ground heaves beneath your feet and a spray of ocean water rolls over the railings as the ship heels under the wind. The ship shudders violently, and you are thrown against the railing. In that moment, you find your gaze pulling to the pitching surface of the dark sea, and see there is an eye broad as a shield gazing back at you in turn. Fear and fascination sweep through your mind, even as your senses recede and the memory fades. Let's not do you then. Next, read his soul. A handful of memories start across your mind like startled fish, leaving indistinct images and sounds in their wake. For a moment, you are overwhelmed until one particular recollection tugs at your senses with stubborn force. You, or Andred, or both, kneel on the stone floor held between two men. The man pacing in front of you wears the armor of a crucible knight, and you feel Andred's heartfelt contempt for him as if it were your own. You feel Andres triumphs too when the night comes just close enough for you to spit blood on his boots. The memory slips away from you and you find yourself back in your own shoes.
Uh-huh.
Do-do-do-do.
Sure.
I don't know how that's supposed to work, but I guess we'll eventually figure it out. Um. Oh yeah, you. David.
Something I can do for you? Halfrick's got me straightening the rooms, but I'll help you if I can.
We still have no idea who you are. Read her soul. You feel for Owana's essence and almost instantly find yourself wrapped in darkness. It takes you a moment to realize that you've plunged into a very old memory. But as your eyes adjust to the torchlight, you find yourself standing in a gloomy tunnel that you instinctively recognize as part of Durgan's battery. A handful of figures in patchy cloaks and hoods, dwarves like you, hunch over a mine cart. They're loading it with cloth wrapped bundles from which you see the occasional flash of metal, the edge of a blade, or the burnished glow of plate. The other dwarves scurry with a curious mixture of haste and caution. They stack the bundles in a din of muted clangs and thumps, following the echoes of their ruckus down the tunnel with nervous eyes. Pay attention.
Pay attention.
Oh.
Sooner we get this done, sooner we can go.
Your voice is a dry whisper and your nerves tingle with energy. You feel the same apprehension that the others do, but unlike them, you relish it. Still, you look over your shoulder, just in case.
We're hurrying, Captain Gregor. Honest.
One of the men addresses you. When you turn back, the others have redoubled their efforts. You feel a pleasurable twist in your gut as they fill the cart. Being captain of the guard doesn't pay much, but it does allow you to visit the armory without raising eyebrows. And with Coinmaster Zoltan selling off half the battery's arsenal, who's going to notice a few more missing pieces? Besides, you got a buyer lined up, as long as you can move these goods out of the battery before someone squeals. As you surface from the memory, you realize that an awakening will be permanent for Owana. There may be others in town you could awaken instead. She's staring at us.
Excuse me, ma'am? You all right?
Her head is cocked and her brow is furrowed. Remember your death from the... I'm not awakening her. I'm not awakening her, but let's save it because I want to see what happens when we do
Right
this.
here.
Oh, she lit up
Sure.
green. Interesting. Okay.
Something I can do for you?
Very well. Oh yeah, he's long gone. I want someone who doesn't have so much of a violent thing. If we can. All right, let's go into...
Olive brandy. Isn't that a tad expensive for a mercenary's wages?
It is if you pay in silver. I paid in steel.
That's the most senseless act of...
I traded a very nice dagger for it. What kind of bloodthirsty lunatic do you think I am?
One with exquisite taste.
What else, Maneha? I thought it was the devil. I would like to know her first name, though. David. Let's see. Any of you light up?
Okay.
Nope. But I'm still gonna see.
Something else you need?
Read his soul. You reach for Aldrich's essence and find yourself staring at a fence post lying in a filthy slush of frozen mud. Snow gathers around your legs and trickles into your boots, and wind nips at you even through layers of fur. You hold a wood chisel in one numb hand and a mallet in the other. Kneeling over the fence post, you get to work. Hour after hour, you hammer away, feeling the tools grow heavier in your grip as your breath fogs your vision. You want to do better work than this. You can do better work than this. But no one's building new houses in Stalwart. The last table you crafted was put into a fishery, and pike entrails now trace the lines, dovetail joints you so lovingly carved. Now you mend the stockade, because that's what's needed. The chisel slips, getting along your hand. You gasp, but you hold up your hand and see, much to your relief, all 5 fingers wiggling back at you. You need to get out of this town. You pull back from Odric's soul. He's still staring into the fire, seemingly lost in his memories too.
It's a
Durgan,
fool's hope.
no.
They say, and then nothing
You've
but that
done all
don't
that.
stop them from whispering a prayer when they pass the
I
old
should make
fortress.
these. Nope.
I take it you've met Galvino.
Yep. Oh, her eyes glances at the devil of Soraka, eyes narrowing. Examine her soul. Your awareness settles beneath Reginald's skin. You feel yourself looking through her eyes upon a time-faded memory. You're standing in the inn. The room is stifling, but it's the body heat of so many furious villagers, not the neglected fire pit that's drawing sweat from your pores. Your husband waits by the door, about as far as he can get from the assembly. He holds Oderic, whose cheeks are bright as he watches the adults bigger with wide, fearful eyes. You've never realized how badly your neighbors stink, but something rank and repulsive rises from them as they pack together in this room.
How much did the old snake pay you, Sirahiod?
It's Grindade, the head fisherman, jabbing a furious finger towards the back of the room. Cyanid, your elsewhere mare, swarms in a corner, pinned by the accusing stares of the entire village. Oh, those eyes. They're cruel, porcine eyes, and they're watching Signhead with the dumb gluttony of hogs staring at fodder. The only sight that turns your stomach more is Signhead himself trying to wiggle free of his own lies.
Maestro Galvino and I came to an agreement.
Oh,
it was for
okay.
the good of Stalwart. I thought...
A lump bobs in his throat.
You thought you'd let a killer walk among us?
A woman in the middle of the crowd waves her fist. Cries of fierce agreement rises from the others. What began as a collective grumbling is swirling and cajoling like storm clouds. You look back at your husband. He's whispering to Oderic, but when you catch his eyes, he directs a silent supplication to you.
Let's go.
A wet smack draws your attention back to the other end of the room. Someone's thrown a potato, and Signhead cringes and rubs his jaw. You want to shout at them all for this nonsense and waste, but you know this is about to get worse. Stalwart will have blood, and Gavino in his horror had the sense to flee already. You turn back, and your husband is beckoning you with swift chopping motions, but what stops your breath is Oderic. His little eyes are fixed on the churning mob, and you knew ever since you started hearing those little hideous purges that he'd see something like this one day. But did it have to be so soon? It's what drove that devil woman to madness, and now his little eyes have gotten big enough to swallow the whole scene. Now he's seeing you as part of it. You want to leave now, but if you do, this is what your boy will remember: cowardice and madness. About people, about Stalwart, about you. The people around you jostle and bark in their rage. They're dangerous animals, but animals nonetheless. They just need to be led. So you push your way to the end of the room, where a Signhead trembles in a puddle of his own piss.
Enough.
Your voice boils up from your throat. The others fall silent, watching you. They listen, dumbly trusting as you turn Signhead's death sentence into an exile. No one contradicts you when you explain that he's going to march out of this village alone and until whatever miserable Hamlet would have him. They silently agree when you explain that their hands are too clean for the likes of him. But there's something else forming behind their eyes. There's a kernel of trust and dependence. You feel it curdling around you, encasing you like a pearl does sand. You only wanted to spare his life, not volunteer for his job. But you see so much fear simmering just beneath their expression. Fear at godmen marching through the mountains, at dry woodlands and their purges, at dying the slow and lonely death of a ghost town. And you see their grateful reassurance mirrored in Odric's expression. Perhaps this place is hopeless, but you realize that you can't leave it more than you that you can't leave it any more than you could leave your boy. The only person who isn't looking at you is your husband. He's shaking his head, his eyes on the door. You retreat from Reginald's memory, vivid though it is. It has nothing to do with Durgan's battery.
What's on your mind?
Huh.
Something else you need?
Have we always been able to do this? Or is this just something we can do? Not all. What changed? Is it because Gavino told us, or is it because something changed in us? Go here. We found one person. And do that. Hyena.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Got to speak up? My hearing ain't what it was.
Read her soul. You feel her essence humming and buzzing. Another personality and set of memories lies dormant within her soul, convulsing as if in fitful sleep. The contours of that dormant soul are sharp, ragged. As you reach out for it, it seizes you violently. You're standing in a darkened feast hall. Sturdy tables and benches have been stacked against the door in the far end of the room. You know it won't be enough. A few dozen other dwarves from your tunneling crew wait with you, shovels and pickaxes in their shaking hands.
Sinove, please. If we go now, we can get behind the barricade. We won't do any good here.
He's right, and you hear agreement in the quiet murmur of the others. But Almsward and Merman order you to hold your ground here. Yet, in those rising whispers, you hear the opening bars of mutiny. You've never tolerated insubordination from your crew, and you aren't about to start. So you heft your pickaxe and swing it into the man's really skull. Right at this point, the thief is looking great. He collapses, and the others fall silent. The acrid odor of urine rises from his body.
We're gonna go down fighting. Anyone who feels differently can settle it with me right now.
Your voice is hoarse from hours of shouting orders, but no one else moves. They cast their eyes down at the flickering torchlight. Something thuds against the door. The others raise their weapons, picks, shovels, and a few swords, but they don't dare flinch. Your own pulse pounds at your temple. You pull back from Taina's soul, and you feel Zaneva's wrath and ferocity tugging at you still. Her essence thrashes, lashing out at an unseen enemy. Zaneva is powerful, but dangerous too. Her fury has anchored her to old and threatening memories. Taina, however, seems unaware of any of that, and she blinks back at you with cloudy, placid eyes.
Did you say something, dear?
Oh, that's the old. I'm not
up?
giving her. Yeah, that's not happening. I don't like the old woman, and I like how she is now. She's old, but I don't want to burden her with that. All right. I'm pretty sure there's supposed to be one more. I'm thinking it's supposed to be maybe 3. I don't know. Let's look around. I feel like it's supposed to be 3. All right. You've done that. 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 Okay. Oh, the hunter. Okay. Fricks and Soden.
I could still kill you in your sleep.
Wow. Which one? Neither? Huh.
Welcome. What
Read
can
a
we do
soul.
for you?
His soul is a vibrant, solid thing, and as you reach out for it with your senses, you see your breath beginning to fog in the air. You find yourself seated at the crest of a hill overlooking the mountain pass below. The sky is bright and clear, and your furs are proof against the mountain chill. Appa, a child barely old enough to walk, burbles happily as he wobbles towards you. He points down at the elk herd, picking its way across the river, and you smile proudly. The vision fades, and with it goes the swell of joy. There is a tight knot of regret within your chest, and only when the last of the vision has faded does it leave you. Oh,
Coming to your elders for advice, is it? What can I do for you?
wait, what
Welcome.
was that?
What can we do for you? Coming to your elders for advice, is it?
I don't know. I thought I saw soul. Wait, what? There's soul is vibrant. You see the breath begin to fog in the air. You find yourself far above the ground, wedged into the juncture of two branches. The moonlight is bright with the snow, and in the distance, your quarry ends out. Your quarry steps out into the ice as if on an illuminated stage. You steal your breath and draw back your arrow. Warmth bleeds back into your limbs from your limbs. Frost and snow give way to the smoky interior of Thrift's home.
Thank you again for saving us.
Can't do anything with you?
I only hope the Lord of Beasts has lost interest.
Alright. Maybe, maybe not.
You gotta see this.
Ooh. You can be sure the village knows what you've done for us. So much freaking money. But I'm happy our coin has gone up. Or let's try, I guess. I don't remember if I did I don't know if I did you.
Mm-hmm. Right here.
Oh. Let's see. Exceptional ride. Sword, fine. And we have too many of these. Okay. Oh, you do have a lot of stuff here. Alright. Alright, you actually need something. Let's do major. Wow, wow. Okay. $78, $66 for accuracy. Oh yeah, we're not doing that then. Okay.
Sure.
The fall. So we've gone everywhere. I do want to go back to graph the rest.
So, you're back.
Maybe try the fishery again during the day. Let's just see.
Right here.
It won't hurt. And you.
Back to warm your hands, eh? What can I do for you?
I like a
Top
room.
quality bear pellet.
Mining on. Okay.
Sure.
Anything
Zawa
new
is
with-
ready.
Did I talk to you at all?
These feuds between
I did
Ogre
not.
and Kith, I do not see them ending until one is wiped out. Or both.
I want to know more about your beliefs.
The ways of the Nalpazka can make little sense to an outsider.
Who are the Nalpazka?
We are the warriors of the Takan. Nobles, peasants, it does not matter. We are souls caged in flesh, nothing more.
He knocks on his sternum.
But it is one thing to say it, another to know it. So we train until we know it. Or until we meet our ends.
He regards you a moment.
I give this answer because it is what you wanted. But the Nalpazka would say different. They would say that we are nothing at all.
And what do the Nalpazka seek? He studies the horizon. He smiles as if at a pleasant thought and does not look at you as he speaks.
Perfection.
He lets the word hanging in the air a moment, as though it were an invocation.
Look around you. The world is perfect. Every being, every moment, every death.
He frowns and shakes his head.
Rarely do we see this. We stumble through life, lost in distractions. Every practice of the Nalpazka is a reminder to stop stumbling, to know the perfection.
How can you say the world is perfect?
You think the world imperfect? Most would agree. Most would say the world is imperfect because we suffer. They imagine a world without suffering and dream of living there and suffer all the more for it.
Beneath Zawa's calm expression, a deep fervor begins to glow like fanned embers.
This is their mistake. The world is perfect. It was created by a boundless wisdom. It is for us to learn why a perfect world requires that we suffer.
Tell me about your scars.
I meet people on the road, and they pity me. I have come to find it endearing.
Endearing?
They see so many scars, and they wonder, how can the man beneath not be broken?
He runs his finger over the puckered remnants of a gash on his left forearm.
Scar is a wound that heals, a living reminder of our power over suffering. They cause no pain, only the echo of pain, which cannot hurt you. Show me a scarred man, and I will show you a man who can overcome.
When we met, you said you were freeing yourself from vanity.
Vanity is a snare that roots us to the ground. The way we see ourselves, the way others see us, these things are not real. They cannot be touched. Nalpazka teachings reveal many such snares. Fear, pleasure, doubt, hatred. They hold us back if we let ourselves be caught.
And what happens if you can avoid being caught?
And you see only what is truly there, and you suffer no longer. You become as a god, seeing things as they do.
Zawa speaks as one recalling a fantastic dream.
If you can loose yourself from the snares, then you are free.
Why have you eaten snow? Wait, why had you eaten snowcap when we met?
Malkachoa? At any time, it is rare that I have not eaten some. When you first try it, it seems a beautiful fantasy. You see colors you have never seen, meet creatures that are not there.
Okay.
With practice, you see that all it does is show you reality, the essence of all things, how they are alike and connected. I have watched trees grow and wilt before me. I have tasted meat and known the animal's life as if it were mine.
He leans in conspiratorially.
But the Malkachoa often causes the stomach to empty with great violence, so it is not for everyone.
Okay.
You would ask much of one who knows little.
What were you doing before you came here?
I hope to share knowledge with the monks of the Thousand Dreams. Their monastery lies east of here. They are said to be seekers of greater truth, like the Nalpazga. But if they still exist, I did not find them there.
And where did you learn to fight?
Ustakan have two choices. They can grow crops, or they can become Nalpazga warriors. I was the youngest of 5, a dreamer. The Nalpazga were always in my thoughts. They did not feel the same about me. 3 times I tried to join their ranks. 3 times I was refused.
Why were you refused?
All that time spent dreaming, and I had not thought to prepare. I was lazy, uncoordinated, overweight. If they had not refused me, what shame I might have brought to them.
They accepted you eventually?
They had no choice. Our high priestess had a vision.
What did she see?
She saw me as chieftain, leading a host of Nalpazga warriors to victory over our enemies, the Kechmatl.
The last word twist his mouth as though he'd eaten something spoiled.
Our last chieftain had died over the winter. A new one had not yet arisen from the Nalpazga. So the timing was right. The next day they brought me before Ishipilo, the great master of the Nalpazga, and I became his pupil.
And this Ishipilo taught you everything you know now?
I still trained with the other instructors, sparred and meditated with my Nalpazga brothers and sisters. I learned from all of them. Learning from Ishipilo was a chieftain's privilege. He knew the secrets that could grant mastery over reality, invincibility in combat. The Nalpazga was deemed a worthy successor to a chieftain, greater than all his peers. Ishipilo would take him in, prepare him for the future. I would not be as I am now without his lessons.
You said your teacher knew how to master reality. Did you learn his secrets? He opens his mouth to speak, but only a slow exhalation escapes. He looks at you, frowning, and tries again.
Not all of them.
What was it your master never taught you?
When I was brought to him, I knew how unworthy I was. But if he disapproved, he never showed it. In my shame, I gave him everything I had. He tutored me for 7 years, and in that time, I became greater than the rest. Then the day came when he was to teach me the final secret of the Anitle. This is the unbeatable warrior all Takan chieftains must become to protect our people. Ishipilo never showed. I found him in his study, meditating, or perhaps staring off. I couldn't say. Esther, I said, is it time for me to learn to be the Anitle? Not yet, he said. And that was all.
The Hua's mouth barely moves as he speaks.
Never gave me another lesson. A year later, he was dead of old age.
Oh, wow.
They named me chieftain anyway.
You seem to have managed in spite of that.
Have I?
Well, someone must have been able to teach you.
Anytime 2 people know the secret of becoming the Anitle, the chieftain and the master of the Nalpazga. When Ishipilo died, the knowledge was lost to us forever.
Maybe he was testing you?
I thought so as well. I tried everything. Patience, rage, cleverness, acceptance. Not yet, he would say. Not yet.
Oh, okay.
You would ask much of one who knows little.
What happened after you became chieftain?
Many things. Enough to wear out your ears. I will spare you for now.
Huh. Tell me about your home.
Ishimiddle is vast. Outsiders think of it as one land and its people as one people. But if you walk across it, you see that there are many Ishimiddles. The Ishimiddle that the Khan know is rich in soil and water. The crops seem to grow in front of you. We build our homes along the Aki River, and it is good to us. Though every so often it floods, so that the Khan do not forget their suffering. It would not be the rainy season without my neighbor Esley swimming after his escaped goats and nearly drowning.
The Mertonzawa's face buries itself suddenly as though evading capture.
But home is an idea, no more real than justice or honor. My home is here now, wherever I stand.
All right. Save it. And the other one was better. No, it's not better half. He's in Russet Wood. Okay.
Sure.
First, I'm gonna try the fishery one more time. Maybe they're there now that it's daylight. So I can maybe talk to the guy. Alright, let's see.
Right here.
Oh. You? I won't forget what you did for me.
What are you doing here?
He's speaking to you, but his furious stare is fixed on the devil. Got questions about the fishery?
Been running it 4 decades now. Reckon I can tell you what you want to know.
What do you do
Just
here?
about everything. I track the day's catches and see that our nets and hooks are in working order.
He crosses his arms over his broad chest, throwing his shoulders back.
Green is to thank for the many fine aromas of Stalwart. Without him, would no one find their way back here?
Wow. He glares at the devil of the rock and grits his teeth before turning back to you.
My family's been in charge of the fishery since the early days of Stalwart. I know the best spots to find frost diver and iron-toothed pike, and I make sure we don't overfish the speckleback.
Seems like a big operation.
It may stink of fish guts, but there's no place more critical to Stalwart's survival.
A blush of pride rises above his beard.
Herds come and go, so there's seasons when our catch sustains the village.
He glances around the fishery, bustling with activity and warm with the heat of the fire.
But try telling these folk as much. We go home each day covered to the elbows in fish oil and entrails, reeking of our work.
His eyes soften with the gaze of a stern but loving father. Alot forces a smile, charming.
Stalwart's shrinking, but it would disappear if we lost the fishers. I drive him hard, but I can't afford to do otherwise.
I heard your sister was once in charge here.
Arda was a saint. Lived to look after the village, she did. Fell through a weak spot in the lake ice.
Come on, we know you're lying. His gaze grows distant and he scratches at his salt and pepper beard.
You'll pardon me, but it's not something I much care to dwell on.
All I need
Need
to know.
anything else?
Read a soul. As you reach for Grende's essence, you find yourself wrapped in the cold embrace of a snowstorm. You charge through the snow, each step labors through your numb feet. You keep your head down against the wind, and your back is bent under a heavy burden. Ahead of you is the frozen lake and the hole you made. Oh, this is him putting his sister's body in it. Well, giving it to the lake. Your feet crunch over the ice, you wait, and secretly hope for the telltale crack beneath you. With the village distant and dark behind you, you could sink, and none would know. At least that would free you of your heavy churning feeling in your gut. Yet you reach the hole, and the ice is still steady under you. You have the burden off your shoulders, cradling her in your arms. She wrapped in nets and weighted with stones. You wish one of the priests of Andra were here with solemn words and the assurance of ceremony. Instead, you slip a bracelet off of her wrist. Andra will have her body, and you will carry this reminder. You slide the bundle into the water and watch it sink as it dwindles to nothing more than a dark stain beneath the sky. You feel the scratching in your throat and hear the wind moaning in your ear.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
It takes you a moment to realize that you're hearing your own voice muttering. You surface, whatever it is, has nothing to do with Durgan's battery. Yeah.
Sure.
I wasn't expecting anyone to come by the fishery for a while. I guess that's the proper way to go about it. Really carry on like it's business as usual. Oh, show me what you have. Sure thing. He let me know you ought to get a discount, by the way. Cool. Another freaking overseeing. Area of effect. Sure. Figurine. A worm. Oh, that's a lot of money. This is not for you. Area of effect. Plus 10% of ability area of effect. This may be for the rats. All right. Yeah, I guess we can just walk around for now.
This is going to be fantastic. Just wait till they hear about this back home.
Is there anything on this? I don't think so. Nope. Alright, and let's end this here. We come back Rusted Wood. And then figure out who we're gonna, but I know who we're gonna use, the captain, not the other one. We're gonna do the one that was just selling stuff underhandedly. But either way, thank you everyone. As we're ending this here, I hope you're having a fantastic time and see you soon.